just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young, and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He goes underneath to Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Well, now play the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And to the left side here, Wilson. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
All right, man, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 4th and 4. On fourth down, the Giants call on Brad Wing to punt it away.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football, comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop. To throw here on 2nd and 10. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Finding time. Throw complete right side to Cooks. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first time. I'll try to do better here. To Shepard, complete over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll drop to throw. It's caught left side by Cooks. And a nice spin into some open field. Brandon Cooks still on his feet. And all the way down to the 12. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints have taken the early lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is Shepard on the catch. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they've wanted to.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure
And got his man complete. He got 29 yards that time. You know, that's a play where if you're a fan of the other team, you're saying, how in the world did we let him get that wide open?
And the defensive coaches are asking that exact same question of their players on the field.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And he'll get it up the middle. And down to the 36-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. Now fourth down.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually...
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Ingram. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on third and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. They struggled that last drive. They were kind of hit two ways, both with the run and the pass.
And I love how you brought hit into it because a lot of defense coordinators like to show a little cut-up film the night before a game. They usually have some boxing in there. And it always shows the guy being the aggressor, the guy on his toes punching, not back on his heels taking punches. And that's where this defense was on the last possession.
They were on their heels. Will they be on their heels again? Let's see.
A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, I'm not to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pick up there of 20 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. On play action, they'll throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop,
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. They just still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Ingram again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. He'll drop to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back to throw now on first down. It's complete. Flainer, right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll throw now on the final play. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's brought down. So we reach halftime here. Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty. Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Back there, yeah, Kelly, here we go. Detroit, 319. 319. Detroit. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's caught. Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Looking to throw. Backing up. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught at the 25. And he is down deep into Giant territory. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings it back to right around it. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
He'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. To Shepard, complete over the middle. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Well, that right there is the definition of flipping the field.
Trainer. The only reason I say that, you know he's going to need a little oxygen after that one. But what a scintillating run, and how much fun was that for us to watch it.
Great run. They'll look to run with Ingram. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, after last week, where he kept finding the end zone, what do you have, 2 touchdown runs?
Yep.
He's got to be just a tad frustrated here. Close, but he hasn't gotten in.
Maybe they give him another shot. We'll see.
Well, I would think so. I think he's built up that type of equity, but the guys on the other side of the ball know it too.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is 4 down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Got a man, it's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The drop to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a handoff looking right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Yeah, only needed a yard, instead went backwards. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They'll set up to throw, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got time. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be
nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third is back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He dumps it down to Ingram. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play. And it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call it student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll set up a throw. And Wilson has it. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff here to his running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And Brinz's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now, because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
8 yards of completion. Now they face 3rd down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Back to throw. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. Oh, a solid stiff arm and some open field. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
It's 4th and 2, and you know the defense is going to stack the line of scrimmage. So you have to be definite about your decision about where to go. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Caught by Snead over the middle. Give him 9 there on the 1st down. Completion. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. He'll drop to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Let's go. Back 99, Philly. Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The New York set to take the field. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Watch it now, party. All right, now, look at this now.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit. Good. All right, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
There are so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get